As Praxedo is a best-of-breed solution, we focus on field service management and integrate into other systems to create a complete and robust ecosystem. Our connector with QuickBooks Online syncs your customers and products into Praxedo and then allows you to seamlessly invoice for your completed work orders. Let's create a customer in QuickBooks. Under Customers and Leads, choose Customer, then click New. After you name the customer, you can add in any additional contact information, but it's not required. It is, however, essential to include a billing address and a shipping address. These two can be the same, but the shipping address corresponds to the site in Praxedo. In other words, the shipping address is where the work is actually to be performed. Once all relevant information has been entered, click Save in the bottom right. This information is then communicated to Praxedo to create a corresponding customer and site, with the billing address at the customer level and the shipping address at the site level. You can then create work orders at the customer and site to be completed by your field team. The same process is followed for products in QuickBooks Online and corresponding items in Praxedo. Go to Sales, then Products and Services. Choose the type of product and give that product a name. You can also add any other information about the inventory item itself, such as the SKU number, the quantity, and more. Note that you have the option to add both the sale price and the cost in this product profile. The sale price will be the one reflected in Praxedo. Once saved, that product will sync to Praxedo as an item and contain all the relevant information. Now that your customer, sites, and items exist in Praxedo, you can create a work order to schedule out. To do this, click Create at the top of the page and choose from the drop-down the customer and site you will be servicing. Then choose your work order type. This will determine a couple different things, but mainly the report that the technicians will complete in the app. For example, an installation versus a maintenance job. You can then add in a description of work or any notes, as this all will be available to the tech in the app. Finally, you have the ability to add in any items and quantities that you expect the technician to use at the job. The tech can then confirm, add, or remove the items that they actually consumed on site. After pressing Save, the work order is then qualified or created, and the next step is to schedule it out. There is a multitude of tools and features in Praxedo to assist with scheduling. The easiest way to schedule is to consult the availability of the team via the Schedule view and choose from a drop-down the tech you'd like, then assign a date and time. It will then appear on the homepage schedule, and the tech can be notified that they have a new work order to handle. When in the mobile app, the tech will sync their phone, and the new work orders will be loaded into their home page. By clicking on the work order, they will have all the necessary information to successfully complete the job, including the site address, where they can link their preferred navigation app to get directions to the site right away. Activities are trackable timestamps to get updates on what technicians are currently doing. They're completely configurable, so you can decide what to track. But two common ones are traveling and on-site. So the tech will declare they're traveling to the job, which will update their status on the web interface, and can also update the end customer as well. Then, when they arrive on site, they'll declare they're on site, which will provide a new update. At this point, they can access the work order report, which is again totally configurable. But this is an example of what a potential installation report could look like. You have the ability to separate the report into sections. In the Asset section, the tech can record the serial number of the installed item, scan barcodes, describe the location with free-form text, and even take GPS coordinates. These are just some of the capabilities of the report, but it can easily be built to reflect your needs and doesn't require any technical expertise to do so. In the next section, the tech can describe the work completed and even take pictures of the successfully installed equipment with the ability to annotate the photo as well. And finally, conditional logic can be used to guide the tech through the job. Based upon the answers, it will provide different sets of fields to complete. Customers also have the ability to write their name and then sign directly on the phone, authorizing the work that was completed that day. Remember those expected items added to the work order? Once the report is complete, the tech can view those expected items for the job. Note that the tech actually changes the quantity from 1 to 2 as he used more product than anticipated. He also has the ability to add in any other items from the product list, even if they weren't originally declared as expected. After saving the report and saving the items, the tech is finished with this work order and can complete it by clicking the check mark in the top right corner. The work order is then synced back to the web interface, and the supervisor can review all the data collected in the field. Note that the work order is now blue, indicating it's in the completed status, and it will appear in the dashboard view of work orders to validate. This work order includes the activity report and its duration, so how long they spent traveling and on-site, as well as the full report with pictures and signatures included. Finally, the consumed items are shown here as well. As a supervisor, you have the ability to edit all of this after the fact. One common practice is to review the time spent on site and add an item of labor in order to include it on the invoice. Here, you can apply rounding rules. For example, if they worked less than an hour, but you always charge a minimum of an hour, you can add that quantity of labor hours to your consumed items. The last step in Praxedo is to save and validate the report, and it will initiate the creation of an invoice in QuickBooks Online based upon the consumed items. In QuickBooks, the invoice for that customer and site is created along with the consumed items from Praxedo represented as billable products and services on the invoice. From here, any further actions needed can be done directly in QuickBooks.